every day here. Does that speed up your selection for vice president to get somebody else on that campaign trail speaking on your behalf?
I don't think so. I think we're getting the word out. We have a crooked trial. We have a corrupt situation in New York. It's election interference. Everybody knows it. We've had tremendous response, really tremendous response. If you look at Jonathan Turley, every single Andrew McCarthy, everybody is just saying how terrible it is. I just read Greg Jarrett and Mark Levin, every single person, Dershowitz. The reviews are like, this is a trial that is a disgrace to America. I haven't had one review saying that's a legitimate trial. It's really election interference at a high level, should never happen. And I think, based on polls, including in your state, in Wisconsin, the polls are as good as they've ever been. I think the highest I've ever had, actually, because people know it's a witch hunt.
Marquette's got you up about by 2 points here in the battleground state. When you look at that timeline, though, what's the timeline for picking this vice president?
Well, I'll be picking, but probably not too much before the convention, which I happen to be having in the great state of Wisconsin.
So you'll be here in Milwaukee. Are you worried about protests? We've seen these protests at campuses across the country. Are you worried that they're going to target Republicans as well in Milwaukee?
No, I don't see it. I do see a problem in Chicago for the Democrats because they've handled things very poorly in so many different ways, and they have a person that doesn't even speak to the public. I don't know, has he come out and spoken yet? I don't think he's spoken about what's going on with the colleges and universities. So I think you're going to have a little bit of a problem in Chicago, maybe a big problem. I think here is going to be good.
You're confident in the MPD, Milwaukee Police Department, handling this, the Secret Service?
Yeah, we have great respect for them. We've been dealing with them for over a year. We made that choice of Milwaukee a while ago, and we've been dealing with them for over a year, and the relationship's been great.
What's your message to the protesters? There's some protesters at the University of Wisconsin-Madison as well as Milwaukee. What do you want to say to them? Upset with Israel for their Israel-Hamas war.
We have to pull it together. We have to get together. Israel has to get up and finish what they started. They have to finish it fast, get it done. And we have to get together as a world because the world is blowing up all over the place. 4 years ago, there were none of these problems. Today, you have problems like nobody's ever seen before. The world is blowing up. We have to bring it together.
When you're looking at where you are right now in Waukesha, this is a county that strong Republican support. Yep. Back in 2012, 66% of the county voted for Republicans. When you won the county, you won by about 60. How are you going to get support from suburban voters who might be turning away from you and maybe voting for an independent candidate or for Joe Biden?
Well, based on the polls, we have more than we've ever had here in this county, but just generally in the state. I think we have the highest number we've ever had. So I think we're going to keep it there and maybe build it, because when you see the bad job that Biden's doing on the border, we have millions and millions of people flowing into our country from prisons, from mental institutions, terrorists. They're coming in here by the millions, and we're destroying our country in so many different ways. Now you see the markets are crashing, the business, the economy is very bad. Inflation has destroyed people. It's destroying the lives of a lot of people. We have record inflation. The country's a mess.
As you talk about inflation, that's one of the points that Republicans are hammering the president on. What about abortion? Democrats are hammering you on abortion. They say that you're going to support or potentially sign into law a national abortion ban. Would you veto a national abortion ban if it reached your desk as president?
I'm not signing a national abortion ban. That's Democrat misinformation. I'm the opposite. We fought for years. Everybody did. Both sides, they fought. They wanted to have states' rights. Very important. States. They wanted to bring the states into it. And that's Democrats and Republicans, and I got that done. And now it's up to the state. It's up to your state. It's up to every state what you do, and this is the way people wanted it. Democrats wanted it. Republicans wanted it. And now it's up to the states, and I think it's working out very well. Some states have surprising votes, one way or the other, but it's now up to the states. It's not up to me anymore, and I think that a lot of people are very happy about it. They've been trying to get this done for 53 years.
Last question on the VP list, short list. You've got a big retreat this weekend. You're going to have a lot of the leading candidates for that short list. Who's on your short list? Doug Burgum, Tulsi Gabbard. Who are you looking at?
All good names. We were speaking before, all good names. We have
Marco Rubio?
Marco's great. I think he's been great.
Is he one of your tops?
Well, he's one of the people I respect. I can tell you that. Marco's been great. But so many people ask that question. Usually it's done right around the convention. So it's going to be done, and maybe it'll be done before you, because here we are in Wisconsin. We'll be making that decision, I think, closer to Wisconsin time, if you want to know the truth. It's very early right now.
Okay. No leading candidates of that list I just mentioned. Tim Scott, Senator Scott? You're looking at a senator, though, it seems like.
Fantastic. I always say to Tim, he campaigned, he did well, but he does really well as a surrogate for me. He's been incredible. He goes around, they call it surrogate, and he's been to a lot of different networks and stations, does a fantastic job.
But you're in trial pretty much every day, so wouldn't it make sense to have that person out there right now for you?
Well, I'm in a fake trial, and I'm in a trial that's a Democrat. You know, you take a look at where did it come from. It came from Biden. It's a Biden trial to
I don't
try
know
and
if there's
keep it
evidence
up.
of that,
Oh,
he
yeah,
was
there
involved
is.
with this.
There's evidence, so you just take a look. I mean, who's heading up the trial? Take a look at the person that's heading it up. No, there's a lot of evidence, and there's also common sense involved, but there's a lot of evidence, and it's disgraceful. Never happened in the history of our country before what they're doing. So I call it the Biden trial, and it's a fake deal, and the voters get it, and that's why I'm up by so much.
And the jury will have their say, and you'll have your say in court as well. Thank you, Mr.
That's
President.
true.
Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks.